you guys for being here. This is Battle Axe. The idea tonight is got something a little different from the first one. We have tonight for you a team-based comedy competition where we are going to have Team South Bend, old school as they wanted to be called, I was told.
We're old.
Yes.
And we went to school.
I went to a really terrible one about 2 blocks that way. Yeah. Shut up, you went to Gary. I don't know how you didn't make it out of there. Oh, you went to the Joe Jackson School of Learning, didn't you? Yeah, there we are. But no, we're going to have a handicap match tonight as Team Old School takes on Team Comedy Circus. It's going to be 5-on-3. So, there's going to be a perk system too, where after each round, the comics who win the round get to pick out a perk. There's going to be things like forced topic, there's going to be a heckling perk, there's going to be a all crowd work set. And yeah, so this is feeling just like it always does with comedy. Silence will be the theme tonight. But really excited to do this, and as you can see, the excitement's just pouring outside. And I'm sure there's going to be a noise ordinance violation here at some point. But so we're going to get it rolling, but with a nice guest set here from this guy who's coming out and been supporting our shows for a while, and we're really glad he's here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. John Stites.
Thank you, Ed. If I seem a little nervous, I don't usually perform in crowds this big or attentive. So I'm glad to be a small part of the comedy battle here. They asked me to come up and try to get the crowd in the mood for laughter. So I'd come up and do like I usually do, and I'll do 3 minutes of hilarity. And I will just tell you some true stories of my life to get everybody in the mood, if you're not already. True story. Being married for 20 years and, you know, being with the same person, obviously, you sometimes fall into routines. So to, and it can get kind of boring, so to spice things up, my wife asked me to go to one of the novelty stores and buy a novelty. And she kind of told me what she wanted, but she didn't really want to go because she's not that kind of girl. So I went in, and it doesn't really embarrass me as much. So I went in, and the young lady working at the novelty store asked if she could help me. So I told her what I was looking for, and she said, oh, okay, well, those are over here. And if it's your first, you'll want to get one that's not bigger than the one she's used to, if you know what I mean. You don't want it to supersede the... So I said, oh, okay. So I went over there and looked around, and I grabbed one and put it on the counter, and she turned around and she said, yeah, that's safe. So I... It seemed funny at the time. It wasn't very big, I guess, is what I was getting at there. So, I guess my life's not as funny as I thought. But no, I also went down to the terrible school that Red had brought up earlier, down a couple blocks down the road, Warren Central. How many Warren Central grads do we have here?
Unfortunately.
3.5, and you graduated in
2006.
2006. Wow. I graduated in 1978, so I won't make you add it up, but I'm old enough I can sit on my own nuts. How about that? Gravity. Oh, like I said, true stories about my life. My parents owned a Dairy Queen down the street here at 10th and Post Road, which is very close to the said high school that the bulk of the crowd went to. And it was a very popular hangout for the local high school kids. So at that time, working at the Dairy Queen, I decided to make a little extra money by being a freelance pharmaceutical salesman, using the drive-through window as the pickup cleaner. So, had a nice little business going on the side there. You can actually put, back then you'd sell an ounce of marijuana for $35. 4 fingers.
Was this 1974?
And, so they would fit nicely into a foiled hot dog wrapper that we had at the Dairy Queen. So people would just pull up and out the window with the hot dog wrapper at $35. Back in the day, you bought a quarter pound for $105. So 3 bags for $35, and you get a free bag. Pretty good incentive program if you want a free bag, or you can sell the and make another $35. So I got a little business going, and business was good, and my father actually caught me one time selling one of the bags of hot dogs out the window and pulled me aside and asked me what the hell I was doing, and I said that I was working on repeat business, that those guys were coming back in a couple hours, very, very hungry. He said, I know that, you idiot, but what about the white powder? What the hell is that? I said, well, they're not coming back for a few days, and they will not be hungry. But, cocaine, I just like the way it smelled. 70s, 80s, right? Angel dust, PCP. How many people have done PCP?
I have.
Wow. That is crazy. You don't get that kind of response anywhere.
Okay.
So the South Bend versus, what's the teams again?
Comedy Circus.
Old school.
Old School versus Comedy Circus. Okay. Well, as I appreciate them asking me to come up here, but I have to work really early in the morning, so I'm going to let you guys do your comedy battles and continue to work on my own little shtick and try it again sometime. So here's Red again. You guys, I'll hang out for a while and watch.
Give it one more time for John Stokes. Hey, hydrate, man, hydrate. Fucking water. Yeah. It's like having sex in the canoe. There we go. So caught up with the old British humor. Yeah. So tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to start this off by having a team captains come up. And I like how you're already throwing him under the bus before it even began.
Nah, we decided that shit on the way up.
Oh, okay, good. Work it out ahead of time, strategize. All right, so what we call this is the one-liner coin flip in a way. Basically, the team captains are going to come up and do a one-liner. And the audience, all 3 of you, will sit here and determine what you thought was the best one-liner. Then the team that wins that then gets to pick the order of who they're going against. So, with that, you are our team captain. Hodges, get your ass on up. Dear God, you could hear mice fucking in here right now. You could just hear Mickey slamming Minnie somewhere. Just, ho-ho! Ho-ho!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Gonna introduce him or what?
Yeah, so I'm working on it, much like we're working on all of this. Oh, God. So with that, we have Will Hodges and Mr. Pat Gone representing Old School there. Since you guys are the away team, you will go first, Pat.
If I were to ever get any STD, I'd hope it'd be the clap, so that way when I drop my pants, I would hear applause.
What? You owe us money on that.
What's the true definition of trust?
Believe.
Oral sex with a cannibal.
Technically, that wasn't a one-liner, you fucking hacks.
So anyway.
Meanwhile,
Are you just gonna do it from over there?
Yeah. Well, who would know? Now I want the Q audience to applaud for who you thought was best. Do you think it was old school? On the fucking team, fellas.
Damn right.
Okay, let's do that without the team participation. Yes, sir. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know when you got the boys in the back, you're killing.
I'm gonna find my way out of the crowd.
Yeah, I'm sure you fucked your way out of the back. Anyway, I'm kidding. Yeah. What? Started slapping your chest. I didn't know if you were
It's
seizing
comedy,
up or
bro.
what.
Come on, it's comedy. Go.
Life alert.
We got a kind of doctor here ready to save your ass. I'm kidding, buddy. No. Anyway, without team participations on this one, old school. I got half a class.
We know we got all of the crowd, all two.
Right? Comedy Circus. You got three. Comedy Circus. Oh, so Comedy Circus bagger. We'll take a quick minute to decide how we're going to go. And Kurt, would you like to come up here and do your set? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage to cover our asses, which I'm sure he would enjoy. Father Kurt Messick.
This is the most fun I've had in a long time.
How have you been wanting to do that?
Oh, too long, too long. Well, you asked for it there. I don't want to cover your asses. I want to uncover them, but that's it. So yeah, get it fucking right. Yeah, because I want to fuck right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, nothing like them working on the set and the stage while you're actually up here trying to do a routine, but that's okay. It's like if I stand over here, do I get feedback? Do I get feedback over here? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting any from anywhere else, so I might as well try. Try to get some from the speakers up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can remember when I was a child and I was hoping that I would end up with a glorious career like this. So my mother said that things wouldn't work out. The more I think back on her life, the more she was right. I just got a text message from my sister today. Her tombstone was installed earlier this morning, and there's a mistake on it. So it's like, great, okay. That sort of symbolizes our family and our life. But someone asked me recently why I was interested in comedy and what I was doing, and I was sort of thinking back on different times. And of course, my therapist fired me, so I have to do this instead of therapy. So I've been reflecting on it, and I thought it probably goes all the way back to when I was in the 3rd grade. Because I've been doing comedy now for several years, but I hadn't, and I'm older than several years old. So I had to sort of think back. I did one set when I was in college, and it bombed miserably, so I stopped for 30 years. But before then, yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You know, Roseanne Barr bombed on the Barris Place stage, and so did I. And now I'm still back there, so I'm waiting for my sitcom based in Evansville or something like that. I don't know. I don't look like Roseanne, thank God. But yeah, I mean, before then, it goes all the way back to 3rd grade when I had a teacher who decided that I should be the lead in the school play. My teacher's name was Miss Elsie. Not Mrs., not Ms., it was Miss Elsie, like the cow. And of course she looked rather like the cow, which probably explained her marital status. But Miss Elsie had been a teacher in elementary levels for about 40 years. And she decided that I should be the star of the play. Abraham Lincoln, Man of Destiny. So here I am. I think it was probably because I was the tallest kid in the class, but she decided this, and I went home and I told my mother, I said, I'm going to star in a play. I'm going to be Abraham Lincoln. And she said, you're not going to star in a play. You're not going to do anything like that. And it's like, yes, the teacher said. She said, no, you're not going to star in a play. You're sick, you're weak, and you can't keep your cream of wheat down. And I'm like, but the teacher wants it. She's like, no, but you're dyslexic and you can't read and you can't memorize things. And I'm like, but, and she was right, I am dyslexic. But that does have its advantages, you know, being dyslexic, because sometimes when you're stopped for being drunk. They want you to do the alphabet backwards. That's a no-brainer for me. I'm dyslexic. ZYXWVUTSR There you go.
Yeah.
So much for, yeah, well, that's not hard for a dyslexic. My mother also said, but you can't memorize all those things anyway. So I eventually, I got all my chips on my shoulder from my mother. So how many of you remember from your school days the value of pi? I'm not talking like pecan pie and stuff like that. What's the value of pi?
3.14179.
3.14159.
VR
2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8, 9, 7, 9, 3, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4, 3, 3, 8, 3, 2, 7, 9. I memorized it out to 200 places. You know why? There are bars in this world where if you know it further out than anyone else in the room, you get free drinks. And I was drunk a lot in Oxford and never paid a penny. So yes, I knew the value of pi. That the value of pi was a free pint, a free pint, a free pint. So I got that when I was going around. But see, all of these things, so my mother decided she was going to go in and tell this teacher a thing or two. My mother was always telling people a thing or two. Never three, she couldn't hold that many things in her mind, but she'll tell people a thing or two. So she got her walking stick. She always carried a stick because my mother was not popular, and we lived on military bases where they handled things with violence, so she was ready. My mother was a closet ninja, so she had her walking stick, and she went to tell this teacher a thing or two. And Miss Elsie just looked at my mother and said, "Oh, Mrs. Messick, I have been teaching for 40 years, and I have been waiting for a young man like your son, Kurt, to star in Abraham Lincoln, Man of Destiny. I'm sorry to hear that he is sick and weak and can't keep his cream of wheat down, but I know with dedication and skill, he can prove himself in this role." So, without any further ado, they made me, out of construction paper, a stovepipe hat, and I became Abraham Lincoln, Man of Destiny. And I knew at that moment I was going to star in the stage, or free the slaves, or wear stupid hats for the rest of my life. Guess which one happened? Here we are. This never comes off, except when I'm speeding. Except when I'm speeding. On 37, I have driven so much up and down on 37 that I know where all the turnoffs are. And my trick is, I know also where all the police hang out, and as I zoom past them, unlike most people who slow down, I speed up and get to the next turnoff before they can get all their paperwork done. And then I come around and I come up behind them. Once there was a guy who came back around, and I know he was looking because he figured out I must have backtracked behind him. If he had the same vision I had, I would have been toast. 20/20 vision is normal vision. 20/10 vision is eagle eye. When I was a child, people kept saying, "You should be a pilot, you should be a sniper," and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, it's because you can train for lots of things, but you can't train for perfect eyesight. I could see things with crystal clarity 4 times further than normal eyesight. I tested 20/10 regularly. I got up to 28. World record is 27. On the eyesight. Now I'm 20/20 and the world is blurry, and I go to the optometrist and say, "What can you do?" And they're like, "This is normal." This is like, "What? This can't be normal. I can't see the sign 2 miles away." And they're like, "No one can see the sign 2 miles away." It's like, I could always see the sign 2 miles away, but this cop, if he could see me the way I saw him, he would have known that I had backtracked around, gotten behind, and as he was coming up the other way, he was looking for a guy with a hat, which I had removed. But I could see his face intently looking at all the cars, and if he'd had the same vision I'd had, I would have gotten the ticket of my lifetime. But I made it. I used to live dangerously. I used to be. Now I'm a priest, so I go back over all my sins and forgive myself because I like to eliminate the middleman. That's why I did it. People think it's also for the tax perks and other kinds of stuff like that. I'm chaplain in an Alzheimer's unit, so it's not for the kids. I mean, know. In either way you want to take that, it's not for that. It's not, no, that doesn't happen. But it looks like your battle laughs are about ready to take over. So I'm going to give up being Abraham Lincoln, Man of Destiny, and call back.
Go on. He finally got a pass and he walked away. No, thank you, Kurt. Give it up one more time for Kurt Messick. Yes. There's some more energy. A few more bodies and seats, why not? No. But we want to thank you guys for being here, and thank you, Steve and Laura, for giving us this chance to do this here. Really appreciate it. Now, when are we doing the next showcase? What do we got on the date? We'll get back to that later. Yeah, no worries. Anyway, since Comedy Circus won the comedy coin flip there, we are now going, we had picked our order, and it's going to be, the first round is going to be me versus Pat. So, being the away team, I will give you the chance to go first, doing 5, and I will do 5. And then you guys will decide which you thought was the best set. And we'll go from there.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Glenn. Yeah. Gwen's like being the mom t-ball coach for all of us on comedy teams. It's like, everybody wins. I'm sure there's some peppermints in there somewhere too. Some Werther's Originals.
It fits her just a little.
All right, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pat Gaughan from Old School.
Shit, the pressure's on. Oh, I hope I do my boys proud. This isn't like what I normally do, like all the time. I actually have a day job, have a real job, and have a guy I work with there. His name is Delbert Gundry. And he says like some of the dumbest shit that I've ever heard, but it's not intentional. Like he was telling me a story the other day. He's like, yeah, you know, when my buddy got out of the Marines after the Gulf War, he got home, he was a virgin, so we decided to throw him a party, me and my roommate. When he left the next day, he wasn't a virgin anymore. Like, really, Delbert? What, you two fuck him? It's like, no, there were girls there. I was like, oh, you kind of left that part out of the story. Details. And then he was telling me, he was like, we were talking about dinner and different kinds of foods, and I was telling him about this casserole, and he goes, that sounds good. I'm gonna have to have my wife make that some Friday in the future. I said, Delbert, that's a great idea, because it's a lot easier to do that than some Friday in the past. Oh. The one thing he does that drives me nuts, though, is he talks when he yawns. I was like, Delbert, what'd you do this weekend? Well, me and the boys, we were gonna have a guy in the truck. Really? I'm sorry, I don't speak walrus. I took German in high school, and I was doing well, and I liked my teacher and stuff, but I had to tell him, I was like, look, I appreciate the sentiment, but I really don't think you should be putting gold stars on my paper. And I don't know why you're giving me these pamphlets to camp. I can concentrate just fine. We have a lively crowd here. Hey Garrett, since you're my opponent, what's up? You ever think Hitler was sitting at his desk writing a note and went, did I leave the oven on? Here's one thing I found out. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still Amy Schumer.
Continue.
Sweet. Life alert's on my side. Y'all are fucked. Hey, did you hear they're doing a remake of the new Highlander series? They're coming out with a new Highlander. I'm so excited about this. But they're recasting it. It's going to be an all Mexican cast. There can be only one. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. I got a really bad night's sleep. You know, I laid down to go to sleep, and I started thinking about like all the stupid shit I did in my life, and like all the hearts I broke, and all the broken hearts I had, and jobs I got fired from, and it was just really bad. And I should have known better, considering about a bad memory foam mattress. Anybody in here have kids?
Yeah.
Kids are great. My son's 12. He's huge into the Star Wars thing. He loves the Star Wars. He's looking forward to the new movie. He's got like all these Lego Star Wars, and he loves it. But he leaves them everywhere. The other day I sat down on the couch and I got a Lego Stormtrooper shoved up my ass. I was like, these aren't the roids you're looking for.
There you go.
4 minutes.
Oh, so I have 1 minute left. Oh crap, the pressure's on. If I were Jack Lundorf, that would be the perfect time for my 10-minute closer. Those two get it. Damn it, why'd you have to tell me that? Now I'm blanked, and you get an extra minute to come in here and spank me. I'm just staggering around like the honky-tonk man got kicked in the face, and you're gonna come in like Jake Roberts and DDT my ass.
Do a bunch of hookers and blow.
Well, shit, if that's the case, what the fuck are we doing here? Let's get the fuck out of here. I'll drive.
Yeah, where are you going?
All right, Garrett, you're up.
Lock my bike up. I had to teach my
really not that
17 by riding a bike.
How's it going, guys? Having fun? Yes, is my timer started? Yes. All right. Yeah, Pat, you were talking about Star Wars. It's going to be extremely Disney-fied, but I just want to see a trailer for Star Wars where in front of it they say, from the makers of
No, that's my child.
Oh, my children are 30.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
I was driving near one of my schools that I grew up in an elementary school nearby here. It used to be Brookview, and now it's an early childhood development center, whatever the fuck that means. Apparently that still is teaching. But they had this sign out front that said Literacy Awareness Night, and I thought, how would they know?
We'll go from 24 and...
Drove by a hospital once and I saw a sign that said Alzheimer's Awareness Meeting. I thought that's good, they're reminding them. Yeah. One of my favorite things, though, that I recently saw, I think it's the greatest pairing of advertising ever. I was watching Arrow, and during the commercial break they go, Arrow is brought to you by Target. I was like, fuck yeah, bullseye. I should have cut my losses. No, this is really cool. It's just how I envisioned it. Yeah. Some of you were here last time and got to see pretty much just this. Yeah, and I didn't have a priest pat my bum, but new things are happening to me every day. I can cross that off of a bucket list I never thought I'd have. No, Kurt, thank you so much for being here, always supporting these shows and always sending me pictures of myself on stage while I'm on stage. It's a real confidence builder. It's good to know that the priest has got my back in any other thing he wants. Oh gosh, no, I'm definitely enjoying this. It's cool to be out of the house because I have a kitten now, and she's a real bitch. I mean, I forgot what it was like to own a cat. But there's nothing like being woken up with being pounced on your open eyeball. Yeah, I named her Little Cuss because little piece of shit was not exactly something you could tell your nephew to call it. Boy, this is just feeling it out night right now. Oh gosh, no. I'm planning my next surgery I have to have. You guys know I've had 8 of them. before, and I'm gonna have my next one where they're gonna move my battery to my chest. And I told the surgeon, I go, "You mean like Iron Man?" And he's like, "Yeah, kinda."
3 different ones.
So no, billions of dollars and high-tech gear. Just a sad cripple who is really hoping that he can make it in comedy. And I think I made it. I mean, look around. No, this is great. Just to sum it all up, like a bunch of these surgeries I've had, you want to know what it's like? I've had so many knives in my back, I'm the Julius Caesar of surgery.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Et tu, doctore? I think I mixed Italian and Latin there. I'm not exactly certain. And it shows since I went to fucking Warren. Oh, is that the 4-minute light, or you were just trying to do half jazz hands? Yes, thank you for half the peace sign too, yeah. Oh, this is awesome. Getting flipped off by my team captain. It's like, I think we're gonna win it. And he's just over there, fuck you. And you crippled ass. Oh, no, I have to have dark jokes in my life. And I told family and friends with my disease, I go make jokes and make them dark. And my buddy who found out that my disease wasn't terminal and wasn't gonna kill me, he goes, fuck, and here I was hoping to do you in. And another time I was sitting telling jokes to my little sister, I told her this joke, I go, tell her this one joke, she goes, that was lame. I said, what, like your sense of humor? She goes, like your leg. Thank you, Ms. Red Castillo. That's the time, I think. Yeah. All right. And for round 2, we are going to have, what? Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, shit. Huh. Apparently I wanted to get this done faster than you guys. No, I'm kidding. Now, we are going to decide, you guys, who you thought did the better set. So, if you thought Pat from Old School did, let's hear it. Or if you thought mine. Okay, a little bit more there. All right, I guess I have to be a prick and say that I won. Okay, so.
Audience is rigged.
Yeah, hey, you know, there's that. Now, if we can get on this comedy Mortal Kombat round 2 here.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
Casey and Sean.
All right. We have Casey Bronkhart from the Comedy Circus and Mr. Sean Shank from Old School. Christ, keep it down. So with that, away team, Sean, and you are doing 6 minutes. I didn't want to use it yet. It's called strategy, goddammit.
I guess so.
I don't know. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, are we hanging out? Yeah, here you go.
That was not awkward at all. Thanks. So I was at a show the other night with my buddy Pat, and we were at this theater, and we had to go back to the theater, like, entertainer entrance. And as we're walking back, there was like this monument that we saw, and it was like this Japanese memorial. And it just had Japanese writing all the way down, and it was like 20 feet long, just nothing but Japanese characters. It just looked like a stack of white girl tattoos. Just like tramp stamps for miles. Broke up with my girlfriend not too long ago. And she really liked video games, this girl. And we were having that conversation, you know, the one where like you're talking with your significant other and you ask if you have a nickname for your stuff, right? And so, you know, I asked her, I said, what's your nickname for your, for your girl? And she loved video games, and she says, well, I call it my PlayStation. And we broke up. So I guess now she's my Xbox. Like, I don't care if I lose. I like my jokes. Screw you. This was not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to do straight time. Like, I thought we were really going to be fucking with each other at this point. And they're like, no, you're just doing stand-up. And I'm just like, well, fuck, I don't have my set together. It's ridiculous. You guys ever been accidentally racist? I mean, you know, not like you wake up in the middle of the night, walk in the bathroom, you stub your toe, and you're like, ah, fuck, Chinese people have small dicks. I mean, like, not like you would. I'm just saying, like, you know, say you're sitting in the parking lot at Marsh at night, and you have one of the, yes, and you have one of those cars that when you turn it on, all the doors lock, and at that same point, a black dude walks by you. And you're like, oh no, I didn't. Then you just drive off. It happened to me, man. I used to live at this place called Central High in South Bend. And if you saw the movie Hoosiers, it used to be the high school that the team that played them at the very end, you know, that's where they turned it into apartments. Okay, so it's an old high school, right? So they have all these big spaces and doors, but they decided the front door that they were going to put a thing in, and it's just like this tiny door for you to get through. And you had to have a key fob thing to get through the door to get into the stuff. So, I come home one night, and I go to key fob the door, and as I'm opening it, this old black dude in a wheelchair comes rolling through at the same time. And he comes rolling through, and like, to get out of his way, like, I turned like this up against the wall, like kind of flattened myself, and when I turned, like I had Mexican the day, and like I turned and put pressure on my midsection, and when I turned, I just like shit right on him. And there's like no way to explain to that dude that that was not a hate crime. Yes, it is funny, thank you.
That is
Shit happened too. That was a real happenstance in my life. And I used happenstance in a fucking set, so give me an extra point for that.
What does that mean?
I don't know, it's a big word, I threw it out.
4 happens.
4? Well, I have 6, so... Played football in high school. Yeah. Thing was, I was kind of like a nerd jock. You know, so I wasn't into like all the sports shit. I was just a big dude that could block people from hitting the guy that had the stuff that we were supposed to protect. So, senior year, I didn't know all the football traditions, and we had this like football camp out. And I'm sleeping in my tent, and at midnight, the running back, Anthony O'Valley, comes, he wakes me up, he's like, hey, Shane, come on, we gotta go out to the field. And I'm like, why? It's midnight. He said, come on. So we go out to the field, and like all the guys on my team are standing on the 50-yard line. And my coach, who's like one of these big alpha male type guys, is like pacing back and forth on the 50. Oh, God. And he chews tobacco so he can't understand anything he's saying. And he goes, boy, animals when they're in the wild protect their turf. And I look over at Anthony and I go, did he just say turf? He goes, I the way they protect their turf,
30 seconds.
they pee on what they own. Yes. And then the guys, and apparently they went even odds before this. I had no idea. They like split to each end zone, and everybody was peeing all over the end zones. And as they were, I heard the coach in the background go, mark your turn. And the thing was, I was kind of like nervous. I was a nerd, so I was shy, and I got the piss willies. I couldn't pee. I'm over in the corner trying to protect my small penis, like hoping they didn't see. I couldn't pee. We went 8-3 that year and lost the sectional, so my fault. All right, did I make it?
Yep.
Woo! All right, who am I going up again?
Mr. Casey Bronco, Comedy Circus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bro... Wait, Bronco?
It's all right, it's all right, it's all right.
Mr. Broken Cock.
I'm Mr. Broken Cock. Welcome, everybody. Hey. I go to gay bars, not because I'm gay. I just really want to know how it would feel like to be a girl and finally get drinks bought for me. Teacher? Yeah. Here's my suggestion. You should eat a lot of blueberries. Apparently they're high in antioxidants. So there you go. There you go, huh? It's science, Bill Nye. It is. Oh, did you guys hear this? Dollar General was open on Black Friday. Did anybody go? I guess some of their blockbuster deals included, oh, fuck it, just take it. As a kid, I always dreamed of having superpowers, like the ability to run really fast, or the power of invisibility. But now as an adult, I just want normal powers, like the ability to grow hair, or the power to tan, you know? Simple pleasures in life. I pinpointed racism down to its most basic form. See, hatred arises because one group of people can't stand another just because that group's dicks are bigger. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I hate babies. Oh, motherfuckers. Oh, what was the other one that I was gonna do? Oh, my sex doll called me last night. My blow-up doll. Apparently she's late, which is really freaking me out because, as you all know, that's how you make baby dolls. But from my understanding, I think I'm all right because from what I've heard is most baby dolls are made in China. So there's a very good chance my sex doll cheated on me. Woo! Dodge that bullet, you know what I mean? I mean, how awful would it be to come home every day and play house? It would be awful. I don't know. I never realized money grew on trees until I saw the reality show Teen Mom. My God, they're famous for being irresponsible. That is amazing. Now all I have to do is get pregnant. I'm coming for you, reality. I'm coming for you. I don't know, do people like reality TV here? Is it good? Because I can't stand it. I can't, it's awful. They want you to see every pointless moment of their life, but if I'm watching them from the bushes, I'm the creep. I'm not a creep, I'm just trying to keep up with the Kardashians. Jenner's the creep, I can't, she's the creep. And now they have reality TV like Naked and Afraid. You guys like that show? See, I don't like it. That's exactly how I felt the first time I had sex. I don't want to relive that episode, you know, that's not a part of my life I want to relive. I'm married, happily married for 12 years, which means I have in-laws. But I always wondered, if I divorce my wife, do my in-laws become outlaws? Because they're too old to start a crime spree. It would start off innocent enough, you know, they walk out on their Cracker Barrel bill, swiping checkerboards and hard candies as they walk out the door. You know, maybe systematically stopping at rest stops and commandeering all travel brochures. Start the car, honey! Oh my God, hey! Now am I knowing what cave to visit, you know? But then it would start to turn a little bit. You know, they walk into their doctor's office and give them false insurance information, and they're gonna be cocky about it. What? You ain't never gonna find us? We ain't got no home address. We be traveling the states in our OV.
Probably won't, yeah.
But then it would take, like, they're too far in. Like, it would get really awful. Like, they have to start, like, robbing pharmacies for toiletries and Bengay. You know, they're holding up MCLs at gunpoint.
10 seconds.
Take this bag, okay?
Thank God.
Put all, okay, pies. Give me all your pies and sides. I said, fill it up. So at this point, the police are in hot pursuit, calling all cars, be on the lookout for Earl and Pearl Richards, aka the Depend Twins. These ARP renegades are presumed armed and needing assistance. Thank you.
Well played, Brunkard. Well played. All right. Now you guys will vote. If you thought Sean Shank from Old School, or Casey Brunkard from Comedy Circus. Comedy Circus again. Boy, now we really are feeling like prigs. So now, we will take a 10-minute break real quick so people can get some nicotine in them and all that. We'll come on back and we will decide our next perk, because you can stockpile them, gentlemen, and then use them all at once if you would like. So, stick around and try and get a little calmer. All right, thank you. Oh, shut up. No, God, no.
Shout me a tit.
You already patted my ass. I want more. You got a lot more.
There's always more to get.
Did you find a polyp? I need to know. My lord. Or your lord, whichever. Oh, God. So welcome back. Oh, man. Yes, thank you, Dad, for being here. John Stites, he had to leave. We call it the Troy Davis effect. He had to get up early for work, we were told. That's one for the comics. That's just working out some old feelings. Because comedy is therapy, and it's cheap. Just like that joke was. No, I'm kidding. No. Don't. You already asked to see my tits, and Father Kurt's about to push over the table of the erection he's going to get. Anywho, with that, we have another guest comic coming up tonight. She has been with us at the Comedy Circus. She's new, but she's awesome. And you're going to love her personality. She's got all sorts of personality. She's got more balls than the rest of us. More balls than what Father Kurt would like to see on a weekend. I know. Grinder's been good to him. Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Wynn's uncle.
Keep it going for hookers and blow. Thank you. Christmas is right around the corner. Whenever someone reminds me of that, I get kind of that Game of Thrones winter is coming, like sense of foreboding. And it's mostly because I know my Christmas day is going to end up very much like Game of Thrones. My family and I are going to spend the day trying to stab each other in the back, and then someone will just be yelling shame at me at the various intervals. I will probably cope with the stress of Christmas the same way I cope with the stress of Thanksgiving, which is by giving my food baby fetal alcohol syndrome. Do you guys have any special foods that your family only serves on the holidays? My grandma makes this Jell-O salad that has mayonnaise, cheddar cheese, pineapple, and pecans in it. Yeah, yes, cheesy mayo Jell-O. Yeah, and if you were wondering, that is exactly what vomit tastes like. So she serves it on some festive plates to try to, jazz that up. It doesn't hide the taste at all. Your grandma and your great aunts always want to write these recipes down for you, you know, and let you take them home with you. And they always say that nuts are optional. Nuts are optional. And old ladies love to tell you how when they were kids, they could not afford nuts. Like, oh my God, nuts were so expensive. We only got them in our stocking at Christmas with an apple and a kerchief and half a piece of chalk, and that was all we got for Christmas. And it's as if after the Great Depression, the United States switched from the gold standard to the pecan standard. I'm just glad to be alive in a time when I can measure just how poor I am by the amount of crippling student loan debt that I have. Nuts, on the other hand, we're putting those fuckers in everything. They're in cereal, bread, we're making them into butter. What a time to be alive. God. I think people get way too into decorating for the holidays, and for that I blame Pinterest. Do you guys know about Pinterest? Yeah. So if you're not, you know, into Pinterest, it's a social media platform that allows women to feel inferior to their peers, but with crafts. So, like if you want to learn how to make a festive and flammable holiday wreath out of dryer lint, you would go to Pinterest. It's got all kinds of great articles on there, like, you've probably been using deodorant wrong your entire life. I'm like, really? I'm not supposed to be inserting this vaginally? Because if that's the case, someone needs to get a hold of my middle school gym teacher. And probably a lawyer. Holidays are great for awkward conversations. Like, you know, my grandpa will come up to me and say, "So, anybody you brushing your teeth for these days?" No, Grandpa, dental hygiene is its own reward. So, I am a single lady, and you know, 99% of the time I'm thrilled with that condition. You know, you say relationship, I say Mexican standoff, you know. Most of my second dates are at Planned Parenthood, if you know what I mean. But there is one part of being in a committed relationship that I really miss, and that's getting eaten out. Because I get it, guys. Nobody needs that neck cramp, you know, if for somebody you're never going to see again. I get it. But, you know, I've come up with a little compromise. It's a little bit of, it's an oral sex playlist, if you will, you know. Something to not only get me in the mood, but serve as a built-in timer. And it's just 3 songs. It's no big deal, ladies. I'll share it with you so you can use this at home tonight. Just 3 songs. It's Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie, and Dark Star by the Grateful Dead. Tops out at just under an hour. Say, oh yeah, baby, don't stop. This is the live version. They're not paying for studio time. I'm one to talk, though. I am really terrible at giving hand jobs. Because let's face it, there is nothing that I can do with my hand that is going to feel better than what a guy can do to himself with his hand. Because no matter what this guy does, he has spent more time and energy figuring out what gets him off with his hand than anything else in the world. He could have a PhD in whatever, be the foremost expert in yada, yada, yada. He has still devoted more time and effort into jerking off. I, on the other hand, am going in there completely blind, like I'm trying to learn how to drive a stick shift while wearing oven mitts. Like, is this doing anything? Why is it making that grinding noise? Is this good? No? Thank you guys so much for coming out. It's been fun. I don't know how to make that work.
Just like hand jobs, right? Give it up one more time for Gwen Summer. That was awesome. Very good job. She's been at, like, how many sets is that now for you? Like, 5-ish?
I do a lot of stuff without you.
Oh. Darling, there's a lot of women who do a lot of stuff without me.
I'll tell you all about it.
I've been told a lot of things tonight. Yeah, yeah, I knew exactly who was going to laugh at that. No, now we're going to kick it off with your next round of competitors. We're going to have Otis Boggs from Old School and Austin Fry from Comedy Circus. But Otis, surprise, surprise, we threw down a perk on you, buddy. Guess which perk you're getting?
I don't know, the one where I call you Tiny Tim for the rest of the night?
The Carrot Top perk. You have to do 5 minutes of prop comedy.
I don't know.
Fucking do it.
It's a battle, folks.
We were right here to lose, fucking. This is my favorite night ever.
Okay. See? That's why the comics enjoy.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Just remember, it's because I love you, buddy. There you are. We got the timer set.
You are a fan.
Ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Otis Boggs.
Thanks, Tiny Tim. Wow, I don't know where to begin with this. I'm usually a scripted kind of a comic. I don't even do a lot of crowd work. And here I am, got to come up here with a box of sex toys. I mean, what the hell? Is this for the, I guess this is for the large meat skirt.
Oh, Jesus.
I have no idea. Mexican teaser. This might get a little racist. Is there barbecue sauce? A little more of that Cajun trout. Oh my God. Fuck, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not good with prop comedy. Looks like this is how Salt and Pepper got their name. Stupid. Just don't cut the mustard. I got nothing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got 3.5 minutes of this, right? Is this going to keep me cool? 4. Fuck.
You're at almost a minute 30 now.
Nice.
You got respectable calves.
Yeah.
I didn't say
What, is that a cue to take me to Pound Town or what? What the fuck? It could be. I don't know.
This is interactive. I'm sorry.
Wow. I got nothing. I got nothing. Wow. You fucking suck. It's big, it's long, it's black. It's a mic stand. This is the moments when you realize you're not very fucking creative unless you got a pen and paper in front of you. Well, we're definitely losing this round. No, when I have paper towels, that's something else. That's something else.
She can help with that.
Wow. So how about it? I'm married, so I have to make it quick.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, that's enough time. That's enough time.
It's only because I agreed to the divorce. Man, let's sit down, man.
I can't believe Carrot Top does this shit for a living. I mean, wow. Wow. Prop comedy. I didn't even know this was an option. Fucking A1 sauce. It says shake well. I'm doing it right, right? I I should spend the last minute I got packing this stuff up. I'm not packing like you refer to, Kurt. Just. Oh my God.
It's like having a front row seat for the end of the
Yeah,
world.
that's great. That's great.
Oh my God.
This is the way we bomb on stage. This is kind of a new for me. I rarely ever suck, and this is why you hit me with it. Fucking Tiny Tim. All right, man, you're out.
Give it up one more time for Otis Balls. Balls of steel right there, buddy. Thank you. Oh, he wouldn't even look at me. Oh, there's an enemy made tonight. I'm so fucked later in life. Oh, man. So, yeah, give him another fucking round of applause. Yeah, that's why it's a battle, people. But now, from this comedy circus to do his 5, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Austin Fry. All right. Hey, carrot cake top, everybody. That's me. I can't say that. I was on a date with a girl, and we were at a restaurant. We left the restaurant, and she put her finger in her mouth and she vomited. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm aborting a food baby." I know. So she's moving in. It's basically perfect. This is about the same amount of laughter we get when this place is full. And if you need to piss, use the conveniently placed bathrooms right next to the stage. No, I don't know whether someone wants to come fight me because of that abortion joke or just needs to take a big shit.
But they might be those people that go.
So, Halloween was a little while ago. And I don't like buying candy for kids. It's just not something I want to do. So what I did is I put an empty bowl outside my apartment door and I put a note on it that says, "Please only take one." These kids come up and I'm like, "I'm sorry, dude, you were too late." I wipe chocolate off my face. "I'm sorry, you were too late, man. Some kid in a Flash costume. He was way faster than you." Oh man, this is fucking, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is ridiculous. This is fucked up. How about another joke? One time, some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, do you like orange slices in your beers?" And I go, "Yeah, once in a blue moon." That's how confident I am. I'm taking this away. Fucking groaners like that. I got robbed at gunpoint a little while ago. The kicker is I had to sit here one time, and I went to a gas station, and this woman came up to me and offered me head for a ride. And out of principle, I don't like getting blowjobs from girls with less than 25 teeth. It's just, I mean, it might feel good, but I don't want to risk it. So I said no, and I drove away, and I really thought about it, and I turned around and went back, because I wanted that story, and she wasn't there, and I was like, fuck, she's not there. And then my buddy Patrick hit me up and goes, "Hey, do you want to buy some drugs?" And I go, "Yeah," and that's where the story picks up. Because I got robbed at gunpoint, trying to buy drugs. She can say that out loud in front of people. You know, when we left, the guy shot his gun in the air a couple of times to prove that the gun was loaded. Yeah, thank you, sir. And I told this to my dad, and he cried. He wept, and I was like, "Dad, why are you crying?" He said, "Because I smoke cigarettes because I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't like that. I don't like the way I sound very much. But I think if I smoke like 20 years, I'll sound like Tom Waits. 30 years, I'll sound like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. And 40 years, I'll sound like Stephen Hawking. A robot voice." One time, Otis forgot his prop trunk at home. Came here. How much time do I have?
About a minute 30.
Minute and 30. Will came up to me and goes, you gotta sweep the leg. I'm doing it to myself right now. I should have prepared. Here's something a really proud window washer says. Let's make something perfectly clear. Yeah. I honestly should have written some shit down before I came here. I was dating another girl one time, and I was like, we should better ourselves as people as we're dating. That's what people do when you date, you better yourself. And that was 2 weeks ago. And as of today, she's lost 6 pounds. Thanks to Planned Parenthood. Boom. I don't use Planned Parenthood. I take the stairs. It's a joke.
30 seconds.
That joke's funny because... Thank you. That joke's funny because we were dating for 2 weeks, so 6 months, that's like, wait, like 6 pounds, that's at least like 8 months. So she's really far through, and it wasn't my kid. If you're wondering why the joke was dark and funny, that's why. You guys like, what do gay horses eat? Horse cum. There we go. You guys are great.
Yeah!
What do Alabama gay horses eat? Not on my farm, huh?
Give it up one more time for Austin Fry. Eating the dead horse. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you felt Otis Boggs from Old School, Austin Fry from Comedy Circus. All right, Otis, you took that one. So therefore, your team gets to pick out a perk. We will hand you the list over there, it's on the table. But, surprise, surprise, next round is Diesel versus Otis again.
Next round?
Mm-hmm. He's looking him over.
I don't even know what some of this means, man.
We're taking a minute, folks, because comedy's never perfect. Well, nobody's that great at their jobs either.
You guys doing okay? That's fine. Thanks for the
So how you guys doing? All having fun? Just hanging out in the back? To the 4 people that I sort of brought, that I know when I'm hey Dan, how you doing? They get to say hi to you. Might as well do it now. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, figure we get that in right now. Yeah.
Oh, you're up next. Yep. You want to hold it for last?
No, you can use it. Go ahead.
Okay. So, they have decided.
Forced topic. Throw it down.
Forced topic. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a topic from the audience.
Hockey.
No, you can't if you're on the teams now. Someone from the audience, let me hear a topic.
Vin Diesel.
All right. First thing I heard was Justin Bieber. So, with that, my boy, my brother from another mother, this east sider to this west sider by way of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage doing 5 minutes on the Biebs.
Yeah.
Mr. Diesel Reeves, Peanut Butter Smooth.
One more time for Record Still, everybody. Record Still. Team Comedy Circus. Team South Bend. The nasty North. Justin Bieber. Actually, you know what? To be honest with you, there was in the news, was it about 2 years ago, I'm guessing? Keyshawn Johnson and Justin Bieber live in the same neighborhood. And apparently Keyshawn Johnson has kids. And apparently, you know, obviously Justin Bieber has money. What, like 120 million? Yeah, right? 120 million, right?
Petty cash.
Yeah. Petty cash. Sounds pretty worthy to me. So, by naturality, Justin Bieber has a lot of cool money and a lot of fast cars, and he does what he wants. Why? Because he's 21. He's got $100 million. What does Keyshawn Johnson do? He complains. What happens after he complains? It hits social media. And Keyshawn Johnson complained that Justin Bieber, who's 21 years old and has $100 million, was speeding in his neighborhood that he pays taxes in. Guess what, Keyshawn? That dude made more money in 20 years than you made in entire 40 years. So guess what? If I'm like that, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I don't care whose kids are around. You need to get out of my way. Move! I got $100 million. I'm 27. Justin Bieber. I'll be honest with you. I bought a CD. Actually, I stole it from my sister, but I put it in her piggy bank, you know. Justin Bieber. Fucking Canadian, yeah. Justin Bieber. Usher found this guy. Usher found him because his mom was posting stuff on YouTube. I wish my mom loved me that much. Justin Bieber, what can we say? Canadian. I guess he's handsome. I guess, no, he's got cool hair. I like Justin Bieber's hair. It's stylish, you know? He's got the tattoos now. He's grown up. He's smelling himself now. He's got the underwear commercial. He's got his little duck face. Then he's rubbing together like he's trying to heat something up. Dude, you just found yourself down there. You can't heat anything up. I Googled that image. That's what I see when I wake up every morning, Justin Bieber. You're gonna make it today, Diesel. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Your peanut butter smooth. Justin Bieber. Went from Canada to Atlanta. That's a huge culture shock. Like Africa to America.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I went there. Justin Bieber. I don't know, dude. Do you think like a gangster would actually bang Justin Bieber? No, that came out totally wrong. No, bang him in his car, like on a CD through a stereo bang. Like bump the music, my bad. Let me explain. Stop. I don't mean like that. No, like bang the actual music. I mean, could you see Kingpin of Atlanta rolling down Martin Luther King Jr. Street, okay? Boulevard. Is ours a boulevard or is ours an avenue or a street? Boulevard? Okay, anyway. Kingpin of Atlanta. The drug pin of Atlanta just bumping Justin Bieber, something like, one time, all I need is, I'm mad I know all these songs though. 30 seconds, man, let's see, Justin Bieber, I'm not gonna slow it down a bit. Justin Bieber, what can I say, man? Man, I hope I get to meet that dude one day. I wonder if he does coke. I think that dude's a serious coke, but I think he smokes more weed because, did you see him on his roast? He didn't laugh at himself at all. He was just, yeah, you're right, yeah, I got a small penis, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Shaq, yeah, he's big, yeah. I still get bass, but not one time did this dude laugh at himself. 5, Justin Bieber. My name is Diesel Reed, give it a spoon.
Give it up one more time for Peanut Butter Smooth back here. Oh, man. What could you say about Justin Bieber? We were all still wondering. No, I'm kidding. There was a story about Justin Bieber going to the Anne Frank house. Yeah, he went there, and a reporter asked him, like, what he thought, like, do you think if Anne Frank would be a fan of his music? And he said that he would hope that she would be a believer. Yeah, that's an actual fucking quote. But to me, I feel like, had she heard, like, a second of his shit, they all would have come out from that staircase from behind the bookcase there, just fuck it, we're back here. There's like 16 more upstairs. Just don't ever play that again. Here's my diary. Yeah. All right.
You gotta keep that.
Yes. So with that, we're going to bring up Mr. Otis Boggs of Old School to come back up and do this. Yeah, where the fuck were we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Otis Boggs.
Thank you. What, I actually get to tell jokes this time? Wow. Anybody here watch American Idol anymore? No? My wife and I used to watch it all the time, and you sit there and you watch these tone-deaf women in the tryouts try to hit that high note. And I got enough of that shit when my wife reached orgasm. It's not what you're thinking either. It was actually frustrating. I was constantly yelling at her, "Stop masturbating!" Last Christmas, my mom bought my wife the movie Pretty Woman for a Christmas gift. And my wife's like, "Oh, your mom didn't have to do that." I'm like, "You don't understand. That's my mom's way of saying you're a lucky hoe." Now my wife and I, we give gifts to each other that have a little bit of meaning. Like for our anniversary, I bought her a sexy French maid outfit. She put it on, she comes in the bedroom, she's like, "I know what you want." I'm like, "Yeah, I want you to clean the house." Ladies, it's no worse than what she bought me. She bought me a strap-on. I'm like, "All right, I'm game." I put it on, I walk in the bedroom, I'm like, "I know what you want." And she's like, "Yeah, I want you to go fuck yourself." Which got us in a big fight. And she looked at me and she goes, "I chose wrong." That's what she said to me, that she had chose wrong. I'm like, "What do you mean you chose wrong?" She goes, "Well, somewhere out there's another Otis who's skinny, rich, big dick." I'm like, "Yeah, but that Otis is married to a beautiful wife." She started it. My wife is actually one of those kind of people that like to buy you a gift and rub your face in it. Last week she bought me a pillow. I had a bad week last week though. I get home from work and I go home and I find out that my wife had been arrested. I go down to the police station to find out what's going on. They said they arrested her because she had child porn on her cell phone. I'm like, "There's no way, my wife's not a freak." I'm like, "Let me see the phone." The cop showed me the phone. I'm like, No. Those are my genitals. I hate when I'm in the middle of a 69 and she hollers bathroom break. I'm only into giving a woman a facial if she's a complete nut job. I'm just saying crazy women like makeup too. Is it? It's a facial. Have you ever been to a sandwich with so much mayonnaise on it you somehow felt that that's what a facial felt like? No?
Oh, God!
Is it wrong to pet my dog naked, or should I put a collar on it? If a stripper works at 2 bars, does that make her bipolar? Do conjoined twins celebrate Independence Day?
3 minutes.
No. 3 minutes?
You got 2 left.
2 left, all right. What is wrong with the kids these days, man? The other day, I had a 5-year-old flip me off and call me a fat jerk. I was like, well, after that, I wasn't going to give you back his ice cream cone. I can't blame the parents either, because I'm having problems with my own son. The other day he comes home, he's got his pants sagging down real low, he's walking in. It's just me and my wife sitting on the couch. He walks in, he's like, "What's up, bitches?" My wife freaks out and says, "He's not going to act like this, dress like this." I said, "Oh, I'll have a talk with him." So I had a talk with him, and then I got to thinking later that night, how do I know that when I get up and go to work and he goes to school, he's not going to be sagging again? So the next morning, I'm sitting at the kitchen table with all of his underwear and a brown marker. He come out of the bedroom, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, keeping your pants up there, skid mark. And you guys know how teenagers get real defensive, right? He's like, I don't care, I'm gonna wear them like that anyway. I'm like, go ahead, gangster skid mark. Let your friends know you ain't afraid to bust a crap. And my daughter runs out of the bedroom and she's like, yeah, and britches better recognize. High five. I guess I'm down to seconds left. I don't have any more one-liners. Well, you know how things lose their popularity over time?
30 seconds.
It's like necrophilia's fucking dead. That's out there. God, I can't even think of any small jokes. They're like story jokes. Fuck it, man. Here you go.
I think he's still better about the prop comic thing. Give it up one more time for Mr. Otis Boggs. All right, remaining audience. Let's hear it for who you thought was best. Mr. Otis Boggs from Old School. And Mr. Diesel Reeves from the Comedy Circus. Okay, Comedy Circus. And with that, that is going to bring us to our last round, where we will have my brother over there, my half-black brother, Mr. Will Hodges from the Comedy Circus. Fucking put some life into those hands, people. There we go. Yes. I know most of you, too. Come on now. And Mr. Pat Gone from Old School.
Yay!
Now, is there any parts we are going to be using, gentlemen?
Yes.
What are we using?
Well, we've got two. We're going to use reduced time.
So you're doing 3 now.
You're doing 3 minutes. And crowd work.
3 minutes of crowd work for Mr. Pat Gone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage again, Mr. Pat Gone, the secret.
How you doing? You guys having a good time? I see Austin's over there. He looks like a gay lumberjack. Got the hat on. It looks like the dog's extended penis right there. That's awesome. What's your name, sir? John. John. Very, very common name. That's very good. What do you do, John? Sweet. Awesome. So you're a priest. What about you back there, sweetheart? What do you do? I was talking to him. Come on, speak up. Don't be shy. It's fine. You can be an attractive man and speak. What do you do? Nothing. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm in the fucking rectory. What? Okay, how about the lovely young lady with you? What do you do for a living?
Liquor store manager.
Well, perfect. You have a lot of priests here. They're going to need wine on Sunday. And we have our lovely owners right here. What's your names again?
Laura.
You guys had to think about it? Visa. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Charlotte and...
Steve and Laura.
Charlotte and Wilbur. Steve and Laura. Which one of you is drinking? They can't remember the name. Steve and Laura. Oh my gosh. You're both tanked. Father Kurt, they stole your church wine. And how about you sitting over there by your lonesome, sweetheart? How you doing?
30.
What's that?
Minute 30.
You're doing well? Awesome, awesome. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, what are you doing out here all by yourself, Jessica?
My husband had to go to work.
Well, what is he? The maintenance. He maintains Indy. That's what he does. And what do you do?
I'm in county.
Okay, that's just... Okay, we'll come over here to the comics. Oh, I have a minute left. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is like the worst police lineup ever. It was like, who committed the crime against comedy? Fucking all of them. I haven't even seen Will yet perform, but I know it's gonna kill, and not the cool way. I have the Joker without makeup here. I have the Gimp. I have Dog Penis. And I have the frat brother who grew up and never left the frat. How you doing, sweetie? I love your shirt. That is the coolest shirt. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
You're fantastic. Oh, awesome. And Diesel? Diesel. After that said, I would call you unleaded.
Drop the thermometer.
Give it up one more time for Pat Gone.
Wow.
Which is what Diesel is going to make him after that remark. Christ. Oh, damn. So with that, now we're going to bring up our team captain of Comedy Circus. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Will Hodges.
Oh, wow. 3 minutes of work. That's better than your wife has ever seen.
In 15 years marriage combined, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Shit, you gotta take a rest break every once in a while, don't you? Oh, how are we doing tonight? All 8 of us. That's wonderful. How many people? Wow, everybody in here is a friend of a comic. Yeah, I had some stuff set up for people that weren't friends of comics. The fact that you need to have comics that are friends. For the simple fact that your life will never be the same ever again. 5:30 on Saturday morning, I wake up to a text that says, "Oh my God, I fucked a midget." I wish I was kidding. Yeah, that was the best text I got all month, and it's December. Yeah, there's no joke to that. It's the fucking truth. I know. Another story with a comic. I was actually with a friend of mine. Actually, it was my brother's best friend. We went on a beer run. And at the time, I was actually going to school for medical assisting. God, the feedback on this thing. I was going to school for medical assisting, so did my beer run in scrubs. Get pulled over for speeding because I really like my fucking beer. And as we do, cops pulling up and he's sitting next to me. He's like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" I'm sitting there trying to figure it out as the cop gets out of his car. I'm light enough to get us out of this shit. I am. He's not. So as the cop comes to my brake lights, I just ball up my fist, look back, right in his gut. He has no idea what's going on. Roll down the window, cop's like, "What's the problem?" I pull up my scrubs, I said, "A busted appendix." Cop looks at me, looks at him, says, "Follow me." I wish I was making this shit up. So we go to the hospital. Cop pulls off the emergency exit. I go to the hospital, around the hospital, and straight to the liquor store. I'm not wasting good beer money on a fucking ticket. That's bullshit. Oh, best time I ever had with a comic. I was actually working with a comic in an actual job that's not stand-up. And anybody that would hire 2 fucking comics to do a job that's not stand-up is an idiot. So we were working on Mother's Day and decided we didn't have anything to do. We literally had nothing to do. So the best way we would decided to celebrate Mother's Day was at a strip club. We did. I'm not getting any money from them, so I'm gonna call them TPs. We show up, and there's this little rag or something that they decide to stand on so they don't get whatever the other one's got. And it looks like a Muppet refugee Syrian, basically. That's how horrible this thing looked. And he decides to put it around his back and starts walking around the whole place like the voodoo priest want to grab a booby and start stripping for the strippers because we're the only 2 derelicts in the whole fucking place. I love it. I love it. So we got the holidays, which is great. Ended up at a one of those gatherings where everybody brings things. What do they call that? Yeah. I thought it was a potluck, and they were really pissed when I got pissed because nobody brought weed.
You got some weed?
I know. I brought all the papers, and nobody brought weed. Inconsiderate assholes. Yeah. The funny thing was that some girl came up and was really proud of this dish that she made, and it was some dessert, and I was like, "Oh, okay. What is it?" She's like, "It's better than sex cake." That's a bold statement for a dessert that doesn't have a sexual organ. But you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. So I cut off a slice, put it on my plate, proceeded to fuck it. At which point I had a decision to make.
30 seconds.
Am I going to sue her for defamation of character of a dessert?
No.
Or is she just gonna be surprised that I fucked her damn cake? We settled out of court in her bedroom. Yeah, she now calls it better than Otis cake. That's my time.
Give it up one more time for Will Hodges. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to decide. Who did you feel had the better set?
Me.
Mr. Pat Gone from Old School. Will Hodges from the Comedy Circus.
Yay!
All right, I think we won it there.
Boo!
Yeah, I feel like a dick.
Yay, boo!
I'm like, hey, we won the game I created.
We won our own Hunger Games.
Yeah. So,
Who's got a joint?
I don't know. We don't have Mark and Vern here for the song. That one's another one for the comics. Just try that one a little quieter. But no, guys, thank you very much for being here. We certainly appreciate you supporting Battle Laughs. If you like it, tell your friends and let Steve and Laura know you want to see another one.
Right on.
And when are we doing the showcase? Did we have to figure that out?
Yes.